It's gone.
All right, so hello there, my name's George, and today I'm going to demonstrate the problems I've been having with the JBL Control 24 CT Micro speakers. Essentially the problem is with what they call the dog ears, and they're swing out tabs is what I've known them as. This is like a low voltage frame. To give you an example of how that works, when you twist the screw, you put this into a wall opening, drywall, you cut it out, put this in, and when you spin the screw, the little tab comes up. And as you keep turning, it keeps compressing until it's locked onto your wall. You do the same thing with the other side. It lays down while you put it in, the wall stands up, and it pulls in. So this is what we'd use to mount a volume control or any sort of low voltage input plate or something on the wall. Now, all ceiling speakers, pretty much all different makes, use the same type of system where you use a Phillips screwdriver to install the speaker. So these are what they call the dog ears. Call them the swing out tabs, so we'll try to pull this off. Oh, okay. It's not going to go with these tabs. I'll just get it high. Use this tweaker here just to pop that grill off so we can access the front of the screws. So normally you're putting this in a ceiling and you can't really see what's happening on the back side, because you would cut out your hole in a piece of in a drywall ceiling or a ceiling tile, push the speaker through after you connect the wiring, then you would put a screwdriver to the 3 screws in this case, and you would these are supposed to turn out like they did on that low voltage frame, but the problem I've had is it keeps coming out, falling out of this little extrusion. It's supposed to travel up. So I've contacted the company that I've worked with, sent them several emails. They've talked to the Canadian distributor, and basically they say I'm doing it wrong. So they sent me, kind enough to send me a page of the instruction manual that says you're supposed to back the screw off a half turn, so counterclockwise, to loosen it from where it's sitting, and then when you turn it a quarter turn, it'll line up, and you start tightening and it'll just go down like it did with the low voltage frame. So to mark my hand driver, I put a full line on one side, and when I rotate it 180 degrees, so for a half turn, we'll just put it like a mark halfway up to mark. That's a half turn of the screwdriver. Another thing they say is that I should be using a hand screwdriver and not my screw gun. And despite the fact that I've stated to them that I've installed more than 3,000 of these particular JBL 24 CT Micros, all using this screw gun. So it's just been since January I've had problems, and I'm having about a 25% failure rate of these not going straight down. Up to that point, over the previous years and thousands of speakers, it was maybe 1 out of 200 speakers or something, like far less than 1% failure rate of these dog ears, as they call them. But since the beginning of this year, it's about 25% failure rate on these. And I noticed that this is data manufacturer 2017-08, and the ones I've been using this year have been manufactured in the last half of 2017. So I was wondering if it was a bad batch or something, but anyways, so we'll try it out according to their instructions. So I'll line up my screwdriver so we can see it's on the full. So I'll turn it counterclockwise a half revolution. So there, we've gone about 1/2 a revolution. So when we turn it around, now we see the tab is straightening out the way it should be, so it will compress down if we had this in a ceiling. So now I will continue turning it, and it seems to be, see, it's dragging along here and here. It's kind of pulling the plastic down. You can see where it's on the back side, it's it's pulled away. It's not staying within the cylinder that it's supposed to travel down. Now this one, I guess it will sort of go down, but you can see obviously it's not lined up with where it's wanting to be. I back it off a little bit there just to try to get it to go straight. Now it will start going straight. So try the other two and see what happens. This one, again, we back off 1/2 turn, then we go forward and we start tightening it down. So again, you can see it's not going straight down the tube. It's off at an angle, which it never used to really do this before. These speakers, it almost seems like this plastic is weaker than it used to be. Everything looks identical, but you probably can't see it here, but you can tell the head of the screw isn't flush here, but you can see the screw is on an angle. So this is the problem I've been having, and I actually end up breaking the screw off because it's not lining up properly. So once again, so we've got our mark there, so we'll turn it 180 degrees and we'll swing it around and try to crank it down. Now it's sticking right there, it doesn't want to go. So I'll back it off so we don't break it. So okay, we'll get to where it's starting again. So about there, we'll try this once again. We'll go about a half revolution, we'll bring it forward. Oh, hey, there we go. Oh, no. It seems to be going, but now actually the head of the screw seems to be stripping. And I'm using the Phillips #2 screwdriver, which you got to make sure you're using the right screwdriver or you'll strip out the head of the screw. So this one, it does seem to be going straight, but that's after sort of backing it off twice. I'd say with another one I had to sort of back it off because it was jamming, but the screw head, you can see it's starting to get stripped out now. I'm going to try to have a similar type of speaker. It's the Micro Plus, which is same size. I'll go grab that, and it's quite a similar speaker. It's pretty much the same. It's a higher wattage speaker. It's up to 25 watts as opposed to the 9 watts of the Control 24 CT Micro. So I'll pull one of these speakers out. It's there's the bag. Oh, that's not going to come out. Let's use the driver to pop it out there. Okay. So you can see these, the one thing I have noticed is the screws are different. They're just a metal color, they're not painted black. So the screw seems to be a little bit different. Other than that, the construction of the speaker seems pretty much identical. So we'll try again with this, with their method. So again, we've got it lined up, we'll back it off to half turn, go forward, and we'll try bringing it down, and it's catching on the piece there. So as I bring it down, it is forcing it out. You can see the angle that it's on. It's not going straight down, and the screw is not flush on the top. And it's very difficult to turn. So we'll try again with another one here. We'll line it up. Okay, there's our mark, so we'll come out 1/2 turn, and we'll go forward, and that one seems to be coming down nicely. That's the way it should be working. Okay, we'll try this one, and again, that one seems to be working fine. I've had good success with the Micro Plus speakers. It just seems that it's the regular micros, and perhaps it's because of the screw, that black screw that's in them, that's causing the problems, or a weaker plastic in here, as you can see where it's coming out of there. That should not come out of the cylinder. It should always be staying in line, just like this one is, or like this one is. That's the way it should work every time. And so, like I say, this wasn't a problem up till this year, where my experience has been about a 25% failure rate. You know, before that, it was less than 1%. Here's one. We'll just try for fun. I'll use my screw gun that I've installed over 3,000 of these speakers with, and we'll put the just to see how the swing out tabs work with that. Put that down. And so this is the way I would normally install it. We'll just put my screw gun on there, turn it, and it just goes straight down. Put this one, turn it straight down, and turn it and straight down. So, like I say, I haven't been having any problem with the Micro Plus. Unfortunately, it's rare that I actually install these. It's typically just the Micro speaker, and when I put it on, these things come off. The thing is, we have the luxury of seeing what's happening when I'm doing it. When it's in a ceiling, you're blind to what's going on with this. The only thing you can tell is just the tightness. What'll happen with my screw gun, it'll jam it. It doesn't want to turn anymore. I can't produce enough torque. But by that time, the screw's already bent, and when I try to loosen it off, several times it breaks the screw because this is so out of whack. I've sent several pictures to the company I work for, and they've forwarded those pictures to the Canadian distributor that they purchased them from. But they basically, after all these emails, I've decided to create this video so they can see for themselves what's happening with this. Even with using the screwdriver, as we can see, the one tab, while using the screwdriver, even on the Plus, their dog ear actually came out of the round section, and whereas when I was using the screw gun, it didn't come out at all. And we see on the speaker, on the regular Micro that we had done originally, we can see how it's pulling out even using the screwdriver method. But that's what I'm having, is about 1 out of 4 of these tabs. That's what's happening. The last job I was on, it was 8 speakers, and 6 of the 24 tabs ended up coming out like this, or even worse, out of the little extrusion. So anyway, that's what's happening with these speakers. So hopefully the distributor can get in touch with JBL, and they can find out why this is happening now when it didn't happen in the past. So that's my video. Thanks for watching. Bye.